The race for the top four in this year's Rebel Sports Super 14 has turned into a thriller, and a sellout crowd is packed into Waikato Stadium to watch this top-of-the-table clash between the Hurricanes and the Chiefs. It's first against second, and whoever wins this game would appear almost certain to claim a semi-final berth. The loser could still miss out altogether, so there's an awful lot at stake, and you can feel that in a big crowd that's here tonight. Weather conditions will play a part. There's been some drizzle of late. We'll catch up with more detail shortly from Ian Smith. Another big factor could be travel fatigue, with the Chiefs having made the trip back from South Africa, getting back into New Zealand late on Monday night. That can make it tough, although the players will no doubt feel glad to be back here in front of their fans and in their own beds, and in front of some very interested spectators there in the form of the All Black selectors, who in a couple of weeks' time will name their first team of the year. The Chiefs have certainly been real crowd pleasers, while the Hurricanes have steadily worked their way up to the top of the table. Since their loss to the Sharks, they've put together a run of wins, including a very good victory and a big one against the Blues last week. Their form has certainly got better with the passing of time. Colin Cooper has been able to name a full-strength forward pack, unchanged from the one that performed well in the capital last week. Victor Vito looking more and more at home in this level, having topped the tackle count last week in a good all-round performance. It's a fascinating contest he'll face tonight against Liam Messam, one of many compelling head-to-heads in this match. But the most anticipated call is the return of All Black Piri Weepu at halfback. The fact that it's the number 9 jersey, not the number 10, is testimony to the solid effort in recent weeks of former Waikato man Willie Ripia. Weepu, of course, having occupied the first 5 position on a regular basis this season. Cory Jane's back in the team at fullback, and Tamati Ellison passed a fitness test, and he switches to the wing with Zach Gilford on the bench. Well, the Chiefs are hunting just their second appearance in the playoffs of Super 14. They got a crucial bonus point win in Cape Town last week, so they got 2 good wins on the road, and with their last 2 games at home here in Hamilton, their fans are hopeful of some post-season action. And as we look around the crowd awaiting for the home team, I can tell you that there are still hundreds of people outside the ground trying to get in before kickoff, but here they come. The Chiefs, a fitting welcome home for a side that has provided such spectacular entertainment this year. Coach Ian Foster has made 4 changes to his side from last week. He's brought back Tanirau Latimer at open side flanker. Latimer, who turned 23 during the week, has turned in consistent quality performances this season. He'll go head-to-head with All Black tourist Scott Waldrum. Arisona Tamalolo comes in at loose head prop. But the big news really for this Chiefs side is the return of their double act on the wings, Lelia Masanga and Sitiveni Sivivatu. But before the game starts, a moment to reflect and pay tribute to Constable Len Snee, tragically killed in Napier this week.
Thank you. Our thoughts are with the Snee family and the
The senior constable Len Snee, tragically killed in Napier, well known in rugby circles. He played club rugby in Wellington and Hawke's Bay, where he also achieved representative honours. He was a regular in the New Zealand Combined Services teams of the early 1980s. A great team man, and his loss will be felt well beyond the Taradale community, in which he was such a prominent and popular figure. Richard Kahui there, his clash with Conrad Smith. One of the talking points before they start. A quick word from Grant Fox. We've been waiting for this one with great anticipation.
Well, this is what the players love. You know, players have all got egos. They love the big crowd. It's a big stage. There's a lot on this match. This should be a hell of a game.
There's been a lot of talk during the week, particularly about that Kahui-Smith clash, but it's time for the talking to end, the action to start. Chiefs against the Hurricanes, top of the bill. Bryce Lawrence is the referee. And it's the Chiefs. who set us underway. A big roar goes up from this 25,000 crowd. Nonu in, and a first touch for Willie Ripia, former Waikato representative who has performed very ably since coming into the Hurricane side. Let's get a word on conditions because they're not perfect. Ian Smith is sidelined.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, rain about half an hour ago. Fairly heavy sort of shower drifted across the ground, and for that reason it's going to be greasy on top, but no real breeze to speak of above, underfoot, a little slippery.
A short line out straight away by the Chiefs. Sione Luaki and Tanara Latimer are in the midfield.
And Kevin O'Neill takes the line out, but it's been intercepted by Scott Waldrum coming through. There's been a knock-on by Stephen Donald, but he's ruled that the first knock-on came from Waldrum, so a slightly shaky start there for the home side on that flat pass.
Yeah, it was a flat pass, TJ. Moreland was trying to hit Donald very flat to get access to the advantage line. Scott Waldrum very cleverly read it, but couldn't quite get hold of the ball.
Nice and balanced. Nice and balanced.
The Chiefs with a weight advantage. Well, so much talk about the backline talent on display here, and why wouldn't there be? But surely this is the key. The clash of these two packs.
Early black.
And it's the Chiefs who go in, engaging too soon.
Early. Scrum.
And straight away, they call up another scrum, the Hurricanes. And Piri Weepu back at halfback, Foxy.
Yeah, in his best position. He is a very good footballer. Made a very good fist of the number 10 jersey earlier. But this is where he plays his best rugby. Interesting, few of the Waikato forwards, or the Chiefs forwards, some subtle footwork to make sure the Chiefs couldn't take a quick tap.
Engage. Stay down, flanks.
Front row's coming up, but he's got it away to Ripia. Puts a kick out towards the wing of Tamati Ellison, but didn't get the direction right. And running it back strongly is Mils Muliaina. The All Black fullback breaks through the tackle of Weepu. Now Moreland gets it away to Donald. They've got numbers away to the right. Messam had to wait for the pass. On it goes Masanga. First touch for him since round 8 of the competition. Moreland, off it goes to Donald. Little show of the ball. And a penalty. First opportunity for points in the game will go to the Chiefs.
Well, great counter-attack by Muliaina. He picked what Ripia was going to do very early and got in great position. And he's done this very well all season. Great at bringing the ball back. And then the Chiefs look for width on their attack and often have a couple of the big men wide, particularly guys like Messam, who's got such good speed and skills.
Yeah, well, Conrad Smith missed the first up tackle on Muliaina. That caused all the problems because they had to look after Sivivatu was outside him as well. And the speed at the turnover was the key for the Chiefs. The Hurricanes' big boys just could not get back in time in midfield.
So Stephen Donald.
79% so far this season. Started slowly, but he's in pretty good nick at the moment.
Just to the left of the post, about 30 metres out, and it is over. First points go to the Chiefs. In front of this big, boisterous crowd here. A real buzz, Smithy.
Oh, it's huge. This is test match atmosphere, Tony. She's taken a while, as some people have said, for the Super 14 to wake up, but she's fully alive tonight.
So Ripia to restart for the Hurricanes. And it's Kevin O'Neill very much in the frame, you would think, for an All Black position given the current injury situation. And likewise, Jason Eaton and the Hurricanes. Here's Aled de Malmonch, this muscular hooker for the Chiefs. Moreland wanted to go short side. And rather lost the momentum though, and he's swallowed up by Victor Vito. Sivivatu comes in to play halfback, and Donald, and this is a tactic they use a lot, a bomb out of their own territory. No great depth on it though, and Conrad Smith has it. So the Hurricanes could get a chance to run at them here.
Never supporting your own body weight.
Weepu takes it quickly off to Nonu. What impact can he have on the game? Victor Vito. Well, Tomalolo there blatantly taking Nonu off the ball, and that is going to give the Hurricanes a chance to hit straight back.
It all came from a fairly average kick from Stephen Donald. The tactic is right, but it needed to come down somewhere nearer halfway. It came up a bit short. And just watch here as Nonu goes to assist Vito at the breakdown. He gets taken out of the play by Taumalolo. Bryce Lawrence was well awake to that.
So an early kicking opportunity for Willie Ripiar, and this is a good side for him, Foxy. Yeah, I thought they'd gone the wrong side initially, the Hurricanes here. They've got away with it. Certainly they were outnumbered, but that mistake from Taumalolo was unwarranted.
Ripiar, Smithy, is on the right side for his left foot, and he's kicking at 84%, so his strike rate this season is superb.
Didn't miss last week, 7 out of 7. He took his time and he's put it over, and so it's 3-all.
Well, there's only been penalties scored. There is every indication this will be a high-scoring match. Both sides have scored a lot of tries, but they concede a few too. Interestingly, their for and against count differentials 13 apiece. So very even on those stats.
So Donald with the restart. A penalty apiece in the first 6.5 minutes here in Hamilton, and Taumalolo looks to make amends for his mistake and gets a turnover, does he? It's a free kick, so good work there from the Chiefs' loose head prop.
Dominant. Free kick, turnover.
Well, he's a character, this fellow.
Scrum.
That's for sure. Hawke's Bay man, and in his first season of Super Rugby, and props, don't they love it when they get a chance to have a go at a halfback?
They do, but Weepu shouldn't be taking that ball. One of the forwards should be stepping up and claiming it and making sure Weepu's free for the clearance at the ruck.
Crouch.
So Masanga has come across into the back line, right on the shoulder of Richard Kahui. Squirts out for Moreland though, and rather forces him to have a look down the short side. So not well controlled there at scrum time by the Chiefs, and it got them into a bit of trouble. Weepu, and puts it down over halfway.
Well, it looks like the Hurricanes are quite happy to kick the ball out, deny the Chiefs counter-attack opportunities. We saw what Muliaina could do earlier, so I think they'll be quite happy to go to line-out set pieces.
To Malmonch, accuracy at line-out time is going to be paramount, and that time he found O'Neill, second time in fact in the game.
8, stay please. Hold back.
Eventually coming in, Moreland slips out of his hand, so a couple of shaky moments here, and Jeremy Thrust was all over him, and I think he's lost it. He has. Piri Weepu emerges with it. Off it goes to Ripiar. Now Nonu moves the pass on. Conrad Smith straightening nicely. Clobbered from behind by Lauaki. Still there for the Hurricanes. Oh no. Frustration from the Hurricanes. They were really on the front foot then.
Well, Bryce Lawrence is pretty quick on things at the breakdown at the moment. Oh, there was a Chiefs foot in the way there that Moreland hit the ball, and here's Smith first time. People will be wondering if that's a one-on-one clash with Kahui, but Kahui was looking for attackers outside, so Kahui wasn't Smith's man.
Tamati Ellison puts it down the middle of the ground. Lauaki underneath it. He's dropped it. That regains it. And his ability to get the ball over the gain line, so important to the Chiefs' game plan. He might have lost this. He has. Waldrum goes in and grabs it, and they've got numbers away to the left. Soyalu quickly onto Eaton. Opportunity here. Nonu trying to set it up for David Smith, sliding in the corner. Consultation between the referee and TMO, perhaps. Yes, they'll go upstairs first instincts are that it was a try.
He's going to check his hand as he slid forward, but turnover ball. We saw how good the Hurricanes were last week. At the breakdown, they get very low. We just look at it here. Yeah, good enough. He still had about a foot to spare with his left hand, so this will be awarded.
Chris Pollock, the TMO.
Yeah, very clever by David Smith.
Indication too, Foxy, of the greasy surface as well, being able to go to ground that far out. But go back to the turnover. I think everyone went straight to Andrew Hoare as a result of that. He did great work on the ground to free it up from Luaki.
You know, he's good at it. It's some very simple transfers and straight line running. Martin Nonu did very well to manipulate Muliaina. David Smith did the rest.
So 10 minutes gone, and the first try of the game goes to the Hurricanes and David Smith. Reepu, intense concentration. And he just hooked it away to the right, but an important blow. Here's the turnover.
It was. He got it, Smithy. Andrew Hoare. Gee, he's good at that area of the game. And just look what Nonu does here. Turns Masanga inside out. Muliaina tries valiantly, but David Smith very cleverly went to ground early and used the slippery surface to advantage.
Well, Andrew Hoare was a standout figure last week in the game in Wellington with his ability to ferret out turnovers. Hurricanes putting it high. Soialo up underneath it, and underneath it. In fact, it was Martin Nonu.
Leave it, Gray!
And Liam Messon brings it away. Sivivatu flips a nice little pass in field to Callum Bruce. Tried to find Donald. Path was blocked there. Now to Malmonch. Runs into a bit of a hole. Good clean out from his fellow forwards. Donald, well, they were dashing up on defence, so he had to slip the kick through. And Weepu back to mop up.
Stay.
Muliaina taking it outside his 22. He puts it high. Kahui leading the chase and eventually picked up by David Smith for the Hurricanes. Now he's lost it. And coming back there, Tialata, well, that's pretty ordinary really from the big prop. Just couldn't resist it.
Well, it is ordinary. He knew it too. No need to do it. So he will present Stephen Donald most likely with another penalty opportunity. Yeah, he's indicated the shot. And this, if it goes over, TJ, will be his 99th penalty success for the Chiefs. And just they're meant to be the brains trust. They're not meant to do things like that.
Two issues, Foxy, that the Chiefs might have some concern over. Twice now, high balls either bounced or been not taken cleanly, which has got them into problem areas. And also a lot of pressure on Toby Moreland at halfback. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons that Colin Cooper went straight to Weepu once he was convinced he could play 80 or start the 80. Around pressure around Moreland and the fringes.
So Donald, this one 45 metres. Struck the first one well. Distance no problem, and he turned and he was heading back to his own goal line before it had got halfway there.
The ball was crossing the 22-metre line and Stephen Donald was on his way back. He knew it was over. So 99 penalties now for the Chiefs for Stephen Donald. One more to notch up the magic ton.
He's already brought up 100 points for the season. Now Luaki underneath it and trying to fend off Jeremy Thrush. Eventually coming to Moreland, took it back into the 22, and again it's not a lot of depth on it, but allowed to bounce, so it's anyone's, and taken by Scotty Waldrum for the Hurricanes. So they're getting the ball in the loose the visiting team, Nonu. And now a nice flat pass to Davids, but no, too flat. You were saying straight away, Smithy, you thought that was forward. I thought it looked pretty flat.
No, it was a good couple of metres forward, but the idea was dead right. Get David Smith in a bit of space. And just what you can see the lines here.
Oh, yeah,
there
just a wee bit.
A pretty good view from up here, TJ.
Well, Nonu, it perhaps an underrated facet of his play that we're used to him breaking the line, probably more so than any other player in the competition.
Well, it was last year that he grew in, and it was demanded of him by the All Black coaching panel. He had to grow his distribution skills, and he did it. And this year, he's continued to develop that area of his game.
Crouch.
Haven't really seen the ball through the Chiefs midfield yet.
Early black 3. Second time.
Well, he's free kick Ben May here, and I wouldn't mind betting that the Hurricanes call up another scrum. They do. So often the case. Hurricanes certainly have the recent form.
It's 2.
They've won their last 4 against the Chiefs last year quite comfortably in Wellington. The last time they were here, 2007, they won a thriller 39-32. Match that Paul Tito will remember. He was the man who scampered off, set up the winning try.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
And it goes from Weepu.
7, please.
Solid scrum from the Hurricanes. Ripia, Nonu cutting back against the flow. Such a key man in the game. There for Weepu. Now Victor Vito trying to run roughshod over Callum Bruce.
8.
Oh, free kick against Sione Lauaki for going in off his feet.
You're off your feet. You. Time out.
Well, probably
Listen,
right,
listen.
but the defence calls Victor Vito to fall the wrong way.
He's played the ball on the ground. Okay, we're having too many at the breakdown. Okay, clearly.
Let's watch here. Vito gets hit and turned. Ooh.
Well,
how do you get out of there?
Yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth, Foxy. He's had a player from the opposition side go right down on top of him.
Well, it was his strength, wasn't it? Lauaki's strength that figured him turning the wrong way. He'd be penalised for that.
Yeah.
It's all right, we're fine.
Anyway, it's done. They don't change their mind, do they? So
Crouch.
Cory Jane's out to the right-hand side here.
Pause. Engage.
Probably to the right, the Hurricanes will come.
Chiefs try to screw it and have done so quite effectively here.
Stay black.
Although it's still there for the Hurricanes.
Bring the ball to the back.
Tialata crouches down and gets it away to Eaton. Wrapped up by Craig Clark of the Chiefs.
No!
Weepu calling out instructions, who he wants where.
Push.
It's Vito. So static ball, Tamalolo trying to drive through. Taking an eternity to come out. Waldrum. There he goes. Makes a metre. Now Weepu clears it to Ripia. Onto Nonu. Again, the wide pass. Cory Jane into the line. Gets through the tackle of Kahui. Latimer made the covering tackle and did good work at the breakdown too. The Chiefs have it. Although Nonu's done well here.
I was just going to say, that's the same thing, and at least he's consistent.
Yeah, didn't release the tackled player. Sivivatu now stepping and then popping it over the top for Donald. He kicks long, checked late. Well, it's gone into touch. What does the referee say? Well, I think there's a flag out here. It could be against Rodney Suialo.
Time out.
Rodney Suialo, is it the height or the timing of the tackle that they're worried about here?
Ball gone, kicked it, and the guy tackled it. Couldn't see whether it was any arms in it, but it was certainly late in the ball.
Okay, so where have we got the penalty?
Up there with the ball landed.
Went out on the full, but it'll be in 15 still. Okay.
Glenn should have that.
Glenn, have you got the mark up there where the ball went out? What number? Penalty? 8.
So here
Late
it is.
tackle, penalty up here in 15.
Yeah, and no arm, so he was a little bit lucky. Not particularly malicious, but just really trying to run interference, Rodney Soialo. He should know better than that.
Chiefs have done pretty well out of this, Foxy. I've got to say that kick was a long way out, and I don't think that charge affected the kick for a start.
No, but it was
Stephen
late.
Donald made a lot of it.
Yeah, he did, but it was late, and that was the issue. And if I understood the referee's explanation, although it was out on the full, you go out where it crossed the touchline and go 15 metres in.
Yep. The other thing too is that Soialo had plenty of opportunity to pull out of it, and he didn't do so, and so that means that Stephen Donald has that opportunity to bring up a little milestone. Well, not a little one, it's a significant one.
So just watch Stephen Donald. Don't watch the ball, just see what he does.
He's missed it.
I tell you what, he turned straight away and went back slowly, only because he knew he had missed it.
Well, that could have put the Chiefs, or would have put the Chiefs in front if it had gone over. It remains 8-6.
Thanks.
Willie Ripia. Lauaki fields it. And Donald puts it high. Now he needs someone to chase. And coming through, Kevin O'Neill. Cory Jane, oh, magnificently done. And taken on too superbly by Piri Weepu. Gets out of the ankle tap. Oh, then he drops it. He'd gone straight through the tackle of Stephen Donald, and then he just shelled it.
No, actually there was a hand in the tackle, TJ. I'm just trying to have to be a lip reader to work out that he's not very happy. But Weepu went straight through the middle. Well done, Cory Jane. Great skills and a bit of traffic. And Piri Weepu on the pick and go and through the middle. And just watch there. Stephen Donald got a hand on the ball.
Yeah, he was looking left, wasn't he, Weepu, hoping for some support on the left-hand side, but actually the man on his right shoulder was Tamati Ellis, and he never saw him, so he made that goose step.
Well, out of all of that, the Chiefs actually get the feed to the scrum. Well, I guess you could argue that Donald knocked the ball out of his hands, might have knocked it forward, but Bryce Lawrence has gone with the scrum to the Chiefs.
He actually picked up the supporting Hurricanes player with the knock-on, I think, so I think he missed the first one altogether.
So midway through the first half, just the one try in the game, scored by David Smith of the Hurricanes.
Pulling back.
And there's been a few free kicks at scrum time.
Take the hits.
Seems like we've had about 3/4 of the scrum either started with a free kick and not a clear channel.
Donald thumps it high towards Tamati Ellison's wing, clobbered by Sivivatu, but gets it away nicely to Cory Jane. Starts another run from the back. Looking for some support, and Weepu goes short side to his captain, Rodney Soialo. Ripia now, Nonu has looked threatening every time. Gets it wide to David Smith. Spins out of the tackle of Masanga. Well, hanging on there a little bit. Chiefs try to tie it up and get the turnover here. They do.
Balls up. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it.
Well, they take it quickly because they've got an overlap. Well, they flew up. That was good defence by Rodney Soialo, because if Latimer had been able to get away a pass then, they were in trouble. Masanga decides to kick. You don't see that very often, and it's not a bad effort either. Stops tantalisingly close to the touchline, and Cory Jane puts it out just beyond the 22.
Well, the Chiefs are quite a territory-orientated side, and at the moment they need to be, because 76% in favour of the Hurricanes at the moment. And so Great kick by Masanga, and he was happy it didn't go out because it meant that Jane had to put it out and the Chiefs get the throw in.
O'Neill's been the early target in the lineouts. And that time almost went awry, but Tanira Latimer's come through and he's grabbed it.
Cross forward, 8 black.
Oh no, it was knocked on initially by Sione Lauaki.
Scrum grey.
The lineout's such an important facet of the game. They look pretty even, these two sides. Eaton and Thrush, O'Neill and Clark, all similar height, similar build. Both have loose forwards who can provide valuable alternatives down the back.
It was just interesting that the Chiefs went to a variation there, didn't hit one of their locks, and they made a bit of a hash of it.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
You can see the moisture glistening on the surface here. Had a heavy shower of rain about half an hour before kickoff. Now here's Lilia Masanga back in action. Off it goes to Muliaina. Looks up the middle, flicks the pass away, Bruce, and quickly through the hands to Kahui, stepping. Now Moreland, behind a screen of players. Lauaki tried to bust onto it in midfield. Support arrives. Moreland, he's just looked a little hesitant behind the pack. Stabbed through by Donald, but no real chase. Plenty of time for Cory Jane.
Well, the breakdowns are being fiercely contested, as you would expect. Both packs bring a very physical approach to the game, and they understand how important that facet is.
Well, they go back to O'Neill, and again it's awkward. And that's a penalty because Craig Clark picked it up after it had been knocked on by his teammate. And I mentioned that Moreland's having a few difficulties. Well, that's no fault of his. O'Neill really just fired that into the ground.
From a line-out that wasn't straight either. Look, the throw was not straight, but gee, the Chiefs have just got to get the set-piece area right. They're giving away too many opportunities.
Ben May, the man, in fact, who was penalised.
I just wondered, too, if Kevin O'Neill might have a word to Toby Moreland and say, you're a bit deep, mate. Maybe expect him to be a couple of yards further forward.
Well, it's tight. Just 2 points in it, but Willie Ripia has an opportunity to stretch it to 5.
This would be probably getting out near the extent of his range too, I would think. Any wind down there, Smithy, at all?
None to speak of, Foxy. It's very still, really. So I can't understand some of the hesitancy under the high balls. It's not swirling at all.
Ripia comes from Chiefs territory. Born in Murupara. Went to Rotorua Boys High School with Liam Messam. Here he is trying to beat him. And that one, yes, just a bit beyond his range. Dropping down under the crossbar.
Kick it properly if you're going to kick it. Kick it properly. Chasers now, 10. Chasers.
A bit of advice the Chiefs are from Bryce Lawrence.
As he's having a busy night, isn't he? David Smith fielding that one. Cory Jane puts it high, and Smith leading the chase. Easy for Muliaina at the back, and gets it back to Sivivatu. What can he manage? Oh, he finds a hole right up the middle. Sitiveni Sivivatu, brilliant step. He's got Moreland with him. He couldn't find Richard Kahui with the pass, though. Conrad Smith tries to crawl all the way to the other end.
Forward here.
Gone forward from Toby Moreland.
Well, that's a threat of Sivivatu. Cory Jane looked like he tried to do the spiral bomb because he'd been practicing it during the week, and I've got time to do it. And it wasn't particularly good, but well worked between the All Black teammates. And mismatches there, Sivivatu on some of the forwards. Again, I think Coach Ian Foster will be just asking for a bit of patience there. We're in behind him. Don't throw the miracle ball. He's got time to recycle.
I guess it's just the natural tendency of a lot of these brilliant players that we have out here. They love to play attacking rugby. And how good is it to see Sivivatu back in action?
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Come up. A little bit of step this side, guys.
There he is. He's been out since the round 7 game against the Reds, where he was injured in the act of scoring what looked like being a try. I think that was the one that was ruled out by one of the more ridiculous assistant referee decisions of the year.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Su'ialo off the back. Weepu swings it away to Jane. Bit of room here for Tamati Allison. Puts the chip ahead. And Messam going back. Eventually gets a hold of it, but he's in a bit of trouble here. He'll need some support in a hurry. Latimer's there to help him. And it comes for Moreland. He kicks, but he's put it straight down to Cory Jane. This could open up here. Jane, well, he has also looked dangerous. Just a little isolated initially.
Entry. Leave it, leave it. Entry 5.
Yeah, it was Jason Eaton.
Entry.
So banged off into touch by Donald. So can the Chiefs get their line out right?
I think they breathed a sigh of relief too there when Cory Jane just propped off his left foot and came back inside, because they had some cover there out wide. They were a bit stretched.
Yeah, they were, Smithy. So they have stayed with a full line out, the Chiefs. So perhaps a bit simpler this time.
Haven't used Clark yet, and they go to him right at the front. Off it goes to Donald, and Callum Bruce, well, tried to pop a short pass for Richard Kahui, and not very much space, and the ball squirted forward.
Yeah, I think Sivivatu was the decoy. He was meant to be coming on an arc outside Kahui. You can see him there. He was probably just a little bit late on it. So Conrad Smith knew he didn't have to drift, so was able to close the hole for Kahui. Nowhere for him to go.
Well, it was interesting to see there the movement of Nonu and Smith working together. And Smith's such an effective communicator, just marshals the defence so well.
He's a good decision maker. And look, 13, I think, is probably the hardest position on the field to defend in terms of making decisions. And Conrad Smith is very good at understanding what to do.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Stay down.
The front rows have gone down, but he lets it go. Repier moves it on to Nonu, running onto it, but as quite often happens, that little stab kick not effective, and they've lost it. Su'ialo makes sure there's no further damage by picking it up.
Don't think so.
Well, it always seems to be a low percentage option, that little kick through. When it comes off, it's brilliant.
The key is you've got to take it right to the line and almost have the defence on top of you before you execute. Otherwise, they can close the space down. So you can see there, Kahui was turning, and so there wasn't any gap really for Nonu to put the ball in.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Well, again, he's let the scrum go on, even though the front rows have gone down. Off it goes to Donald. And Callum Bruce coming back against the traffic. It's all just a little bit laboured there for the Chiefs, which enabled the Hurricanes defence to get up quickly.
No.
Again, Moreland, there's a little bit of pressure there. And now, well, miscommunication. Liam Messam was coming in. Masanga's had to go back.
Leave it, Gray.
Little look down the short side for Toby Moreland, and stabs the kick ahead. But on that occasion, Liam Messam coming back on the chop. Donald not aware of his intentions and missed him altogether with the pass.
Yeah, perhaps a lack of communication there. I think Toby Moreland did the right thing, just put it in touch.
Just wonder whether Ian Foster will be asking his side if they're going to get inside the Hurricanes 22 at any stage and spend some time down there, because I imagine that statistic is very light.
Well, it says 2 minutes apiece, Smithy, but it seems like the Hurricanes have spent more time in the Chiefs' 22.
Andrew Hoare and Waldrum has not taken that cleanly, so the Chiefs get it off the Hurricanes' throw. Callum Bruce floats it over the top to Sivivatu. Oh, nice little ball in field to Muliaina. Now Sivivatu gives chase. David Smith comes across and fires that off downfield. And here's an opportunity here for Muliaina to run it back at them. Coming for the Chiefs. Rain starting to fall here again as Latimer looks to straighten.
Leave it go,
Andrew Hoare making the tackle. Donald again. Lauaki doubling around nicely. Stephen Donald. Little show to Masanga. And upended there by Jason Eaton. Comes out a bit untidily. Lauaki gets rid of it. Hot potato stuff at the moment. Taumalolo. He has a little run.
Leave it go!
Hoare trying to rip it off and can't do so. And it's a free kick. Taken quickly by Callum Bruce. Pops it back to Messam.
Leave it 12!
Chiefs looking to build some momentum. Moreland gets it away to Bruce. Quick hands could make a try here. May. Coming out on the Hurricane side though, David Smith's got it. So opportunity goes begging for the Chiefs. Weepu's kick is charged. And it falls for big Kevin O'Neill and the Chiefs. Working it back to Moreland now. Lauaki straightening. Quick ball for Moreland. Off it goes to Kahui. Taken around the ankles by his opposite. Moreland changes direction. Now to Malmunch. Good defence from the Hurricanes here. Referee has the arm out though. I think that's against Waldrum. Easy three coming up for Donald.
You're right about the defence from the Hurricanes though, because they were in a bit of trouble when Weepu got his kick charge down and they scrambled superbly.
Oh, hello, Conrad Smith. Nervous moments these for the Hurricanes.
I've now moved to penalties. Every time he attacks the ball, he loses his body weight and he carries on with it. Next time he goes to the bin.
A couple of things of interest there was, first of all, Jason Eaton not claiming the ball from the charge down. I thought that was very dangerous, trying to tap it back, and it ended up in Lauaki's hands. And also out wide, the Chiefs had Latimer stationed very much on the left-hand touchline. They didn't see him.
So here it is with Conrad Smith.
Well, you can see an arm going around the ball. I presume that was his. Bryce Lawrence right there on the spot. So this to put the Chiefs in front.
And 100.
And 100, but we waited to say it afterwards, Smithy, so we didn't put the hex on him like we did before.
Yeah, 100 penalties in Super Rugby, but I think more importantly for Stephen Donald, he's put his team in front by 9-8. Stephen Donald, so much of his kicks at goal this year have been from conversions, but tonight 3 penalties, enough for a 1-point lead. Closing in on half-time. Chiefs trying to roll Kevin O'Neill. And they've done so. They've got the turnover, and here's Jason Eaton on the ball. Coming for Weepu. Well, they've got numbers away to the left here. Conrad Smith. Chop back in field, and Chiefs get numbers there. And the turnover. I think that's Muliaina. Well, once again, Toby Moreland is wrapped up, but this time it's a penalty. David Smith came from an offside position.
Offside.
Well, Muliaina saved the day there.
Well, the Hurricanes got to be very careful here because they're pushing Bryce Lawrence to the limit, it seems.
Well, ruling that he hadn't come from behind the hindmost feet of the ruck, and so that's a penalty. So much at stake. And line-outs have been a problem for the Chiefs.
Yeah, you're right, TJ. It's something that will be talked about at halftime, I'm sure. The Hurricanes get nearly the last opportunity, I guess, before halftime. And this time, David Smith has come across to the midfield, and Nonu, Smith and Jane are all in a line behind each other.
Weepu, off it goes to Reapia, full-back line. Nonu got through the first tackle. Now it's picked up by Sorialo. Lauaki trying to wrap him up.
Leave it now.
Andrew Hoare comes away with it onto Tialata, and the big prop puts his head down. De Malmont's wrapping up Andrew Hoare. Plenty of feeling going in with these tackles. De Malmont was trying to drive through the middle, flicking it through the hands, and a knock on, lost it forward, and a bit of a roar goes up from the crowd here. Just little mistakes hampering the Canes.
Weepu clearly wanted to go left there, but Waldron had other ideas. The Chiefs very strong around the fringes there.
Well, it was very awkward for the All Black number 8, wasn't it? Into the last minute of the half.
So it looks like the Chiefs will take this to
Crouch.
perhaps a midfield contact situation to set up a ruck for a clearing kick from Stephen
Too
Donald.
much movement. Reset.
Callum Bruce is parked well ahead of Stephen Donald. You can see there Sivivatu's lurking around the base of the scrum, so I'm expecting that they'll just push it pretty close to the scrum to the right, set up the ruck, and Donald will clear.
Scrum outside the 22, which means they can't gain any territory from a kick out on the full. Lauaki off the back and gets into a little gap, which closed pretty quickly, but he's got his team on the front foot. Moreland puts it high as the siren goes for half-time. Ellison running back takes it brilliantly, and then he's sandwiched a triple-decker.
Too slow.
And a free kick. Weepu, what can they do? In the last seconds of the first half, Nonu just goes straight through Callum Bruce, but then the ball squirts forward. Going back is Donald. And, well, tries to get out of trouble the hard way. He's got it off to Muliaina. Into a bit of a gap. Kahui, Masanga. Smacking back into the tackle of Conrad Smith.
Get off and leave it! Leave it!
Oh boy, you don't want to have Bryce Lawrence yelling leave it when you're already on a bit of a warning. Now the kick across to the far wing, but really a bit of a waste of an opportunity there. And the ball goes into touch. That's the end of the first half. Well, tight as a drum, but the Chiefs 3 penalties to a try and a penalty lead 9-8.
Yeah, you're right, Tony, tight as a drum. Nothing in this game. 1 try to David Smith, and the rest of the penalties to Stephen Donald, 1 to Reapia. So all the stats to would indicate this is a very, very even contest.
Yes, it's a game that neither side wants to lose because of the ramifications. The winner, of course, much to gain. At half-time, it's the Chiefs leading the Hurricanes by 9 points to 8 in Hamilton. Set to go in the second half here in Hamilton. A quick word now. Ian Smith is with the Chiefs coach.
Well, Fozzie, line-outs, was that a part of the discussion at the break?
Yeah, we've got to tidy up our delivery. You know, I think they've come up with a few tactics to try and stop our delivery. So, but we've got a pretty clear idea what we're going to do now.
And distribution a wee bit. They're putting under pressure around the fringes.
Yeah, like they're certainly pressuring us at breakdown time. There's a lot of guys off their feet, but I thought we settled down in that last 10-15 minutes and got a little bit more of a flow on, so it's a pretty even battle.
And territory?
Yeah, I think they won that, but you know, we probably tried to force a little bit, but it's going to be a territory day.
Get upstairs, mate, starting.
Thanks, mate.
So second half starts with the Chiefs now away to our left, leading by just the 1 point. And let's see if they can provide some better. Well, Toby Moreland has his kick partially charged. And so Stephen Donald has to mop it up. Ella de Malmonch, well, realised there was an opportunity away to his right. Good thinking now. Kahui breaks the first tackle, gets it back in field to Moreland. He finds support from big Kevin O'Neill. Good breakout here from the Chiefs. And some of the Hurricanes just struggling to get back. They go to the right because that's where the space is. And Mils Muliaina to the 22. They plug the short side. Liam Messam. Promising start to the second half out of a difficult moment for the Chiefs. Off it goes to Donald, decides to run and fends off Rodney Soliano, beats Jane and scores. Oh, that's a brilliant start for the Chiefs.
Well, it is a brilliant start. Started all the way back inside their own 22. By the time they got down to the Hurricanes 22, and here's the breakout initially as we go back to it. Kahui, great support here. Kevin O'Neill did really well. He needed to be patient. His support players were isolated, and just here's the finish of it. The Hurricanes had a great defensive line on up out wide. Donald saw that and just decided, I'm going to have a crack, and he got all the way through.
Wow, what a confidence booster. I'm not sure Ian Foster even had time to get back upstairs. Maybe he saw that conversion was successful, but magnificent play from the Chiefs, sweeping play, and patience was the key. A couple of times there they could have panicked, they did not.
Well, Foxy, you talked about decision making, couple of big decisions there. Firstly, Ella de Malmonch was going to have a charge from inside the 22, realised there was something on to his right and passed, and that was the key.
Yes, absolutely.
And now Craig Clark has it from the restart. Well, they've come out on fire, the Chiefs, and de Malmonch. You say the other good decision was the switch of play. I think it was Muliaina. Now Donald puts one high. Jane underneath it. Up he goes. But here come the Chiefs. Good strength in the tackle. But I think one or two of the Hurricanes players just carrying injuries, I think. We'll keep a check on that. Someone out to the far side looks in a bit of trouble as they go back inside the 22 to Willie Ripia.
It's Weepu, Tony.
Piri Weepu down, receiving some attention. That's not a good sign. And off goes Sitiveni Sivivatu, waltzing past the first man. Finds de Malmonch. Nonu has to come at him. To the short side they go. And Donald runs again. Oh, Kevin O'Neill's there, just as it looked like it was going to break down. Oh, Kevin O'Neill, a couple of big moments for him already in the second half. Sivivatu, they can get some width on this, they'll be dangerous. Oh, flying at Muliaina was Nonu, not a very effective tackle either. And don't forget the Hurricanes are on a warning at the breakdown. And I think Bryce Lawrence has just remembered that.
Team warning at the breakdown for being off your feet playing the ball. 12 and 8 grey.
So he's gone to a team warning.
And I've given them a team warning.
He's also gone back to a short arm.
I know he has too.
He contradicted himself there, really.
But, well, the Chiefs perhaps would have preferred 3 points. They do get an opportunity here to nail a try.
Maybe in the words of, was it James Leckie from Australia? He's recalibrated at half-time.
What does that mean?
Well,
that's a big word.
That's a referee's word.
We'll move on. Midfield scrum. Muliaina is out to the right. Donald is communicating. Over to the right. So Cory Jane is taking a position pretty neutral, really. He needs to be a little bit more forward so he can make a quick decision to go left or right.
Well, Weepu's back on his feet, and that's relief, I'm sure, for Colin Cooper. He has been looking very good in this game.
And the Chiefs are just trying to the Hurricanes are trying to shut down the right-hand side for the Chiefs by pushing up on Swalga's side of the scrum. Chiefs, I am sure, are looking to bring this to the right. Although if it does go back on their tight head side on Ben May's side, I'm pretty sure they'll try and free it quickly to the left.
Touch, pause, engage.
Coming for Lauaki. Well, Piri Weepu's come through, and good work. Just got a foot in there. Lauaki's not too happy about it.
There's our mark.
Well, halfbacks have to be careful about the timing here. But you can see there.
Head detached.
Yep.
So Weepu was fine.
That is actually an outstanding little piece of play there.
Yeah. You're right. It is a fine line judgment-wise. He could have got himself in a bit of trouble, but he got his timing dead right.
Still, it hasn't been easy at scrum time for either side. This will be big effort from the Chiefs.
Early.
Well, you could see they did go in early.
It's 3.
And Ben May, I guess, at tight head prop, leading them in the engage. Although, who would know? Only those who partake.
Yeah. It's still a dark art.
Drawn a blank with you, have I, Foxy?
Oh, mate, I still don't know what goes on in there.
If you go early.
May's the man who's been spoken to. Of course, it was a short arm free kick. The next one, he says, will be a penalty. So it was Chiefs ball, and Moreland spots a little gap, scampers into it. Masanga losing the ball in contact. A good pass there might have opened something up for David Smith. Well, it could yet. Here's Tamati Ellison trying to get on the outside of Richard Kahui. Manages to get his kick away, but sits up for Muliaina. He drives it deep. Ripia has stayed back. And looks to bring it open and finds a nice angle too, although Mils Muliaina covers it brilliantly. Such a class player. That's not a great kick. And Piri Weepu, well, fairly extravagant play there. And David Smith collared. Bryce Lawrence says it was okay. Now Martin Nonu runs with his usual strength. Tialata.
Roll black.
Oh, he's got Tamalolo here for leaving his feet, but they want to make some more of it. Here's Victor Vito now. Conrad Smith, oh, just as he said, advantage over. Murphy's Law applies.
And I think Conrad Smith was initially looking for the drop-off on the inside.
Yeah, but you're not bound in there. You've got to
Vito didn't pick that up. But it was a good bust by Nonu. Bit of a Hail Mary by Weepu. Lucky to get away with it. And here it is here. Oh, just maybe Conrad was looking for a little short ball there. Vito just put a bit much weight on the pass.
Well, the words advantage over had barely escaped the mouth of Bryce Lawrence.
You know, though, TJ, in my view, once you have possession without pressure, that's your advantage. And that would help the game flow a bit more.
Yes, always looking for ways to simplify the game.
If you get clear possession with no pressure on, well, good luck. So in my mind, that's advantage over straight away. I know it's not the rule at the moment, but that's the way I would like to see it progress.
Well, the progress score in this game is 16-8 to the Chiefs. They've scored.
Pause, engage.
Their first try of the game early in the second half. Toby Moreland, off it goes to Donald, kicking out towards the wing this time in Masanga, and all just touching the fingertips and then going into touch. In fact, he's ruled. Well, I think that he was in front, has he? Or as he said,
he has
ruled he was in front. So they'll come back for the penalty.
Offside.
Let's have a look here.
Half a metre in it, maybe.
I think he was fine, to be perfectly honest. The old kick pass trick, just a little bit too much weight, and I think they were hard done by there, the Chiefs.
Well, a bit of a discussion in the Chiefs before the decision is made. And Willie Ripia, well, it's not the easiest of kicks.
It's still distance-wise, TJ. Might stretch him a bit. I know it's further forward than the one that dropped under the bar in the first half, but on the angle here, the distance won't be dissimilar.
I can tell you, breeze-wise, Foxy, it just hasn't really eventuated at all tonight after the rough forecast and things. We've been pretty lucky. I don't think that'll be an issue.
Yeah, I had some real worries about this one, Smithy, with some of the dreadful weather. It's been making its way up the country. Okay, we've had a bit of drizzle and it's left the surface here a bit slippery. It could have been a heck of a lot worse for this capacity crowd here, who watch on as William Ripia tries to close the gap. he again just struggling to go the distance.
There's a tendency to think, well, it's only 30 metres, but you add the angle, you've probably added another 10 or 12 metres at least to it.
And of course, they have other options. Piri Weepu, we know, is a very good goal kicker. Donald with the restart. Scott Waldrum running across field and getting it away, and eventually could open something up here. Nonu puts the kick ahead. Muliaina going across. Oh, it's a nice kick too. Had to put it into touch. A deft touch there from Nonu, a man so renowned for his power.
Well, that's the old referee's corner here, and all sides knew that that's where you needed to play, Waikato especially in the good old days. But Nonu did brilliantly here. He saw the space, and the weight on the kick was superb. Muliaina was wanting it, willing it to go over the touchline, but he had no choice to knock it out in the end.
Well, Andrew Hoare has hardly had any throwing action in this game. Down to the back he goes. Oh, they've lost it. They went long. And under pressure, Rodney So'oialo couldn't take it in.
Advantage for the lost forward.
So they get a couple of bites at it here. And the kick up the middle. And Sivivatu's giving chase. They've let it bounce. And look out. Ball spills loose. Cory Jane can't get away from Craig Clark. Well, whatever they had, whatever they said at half-time certainly has reinvigorated the Chiefs. Hurricanes back on halfway. Weepu brings up a little ooh from the crowd, but got the ball out. Conrad Smith, well, the blitz defence was up on him. Jane lays it back. Oh, they've got a bit of an overlap here on the left. Nonu running onto it at speed, but a good tackle by Masanga means he couldn't get the pass to David Smith, who was chopping inside.
And it was a late call by Smith. I think Nonu was looking for him to his left.
Well, Conrad Smith called for a quick throw, got it, but the referee has decided that there were enough forwards lined up to constitute a line-out. And so you can't take the quick throw if the line-out is formed. Just 11 minutes into the second half, so still plenty to go in this game.
Quiet. Get in. Identify yourself, okay?
Well, the usual housework carried out before we can get the ball into the line-out. Clark goes early. This time So'oialo takes it down and goes right through the line-out. So that's got his team on the front foot. Weepu, Vito was looking to move it on to Waldrum, had to take the tackle. Now Weepu just drops it cold, and away comes the Chiefs. Oh no, he's got them for offside here. Well, maybe there was a little hand in there.
A foot, perhaps.
Yeah.
We saw that in the first half.
It seemed to be something. It wasn't an orthodox, just lost forward from Weepu.
Shot. It's a deliberate offence by 8 black.
Well, that's Lauaki.
Offence by 8 black.
Yeah, apologies to Piri Weepu. He didn't drop it cold at all. It was an illegality, and I think Piri, wonder whether he was thinking about having a shot at goal himself, but they're giving it to Ripia again.
No, distance-wise, he'll be fine here, TJ. And he's kicking accurately enough, so for his team's sake, clearly he'll be wanting this to go over.
Well, now Lauaki will have to watch himself. He'll watch this kick anxiously. Oh, again, he's missed it. Well, his goal kicking so far has been very good, but tonight he's just not striking it that well.
Well, he's got square. We talked about this last week with Jimmy Gopper. That being a left footer, his right shoulder's bailing out instead of staying forward, and it's causing him to get square. So he's losing power because he's losing hip rotation, and he's pulling it to the right.
Waldron, well, the bounce deceived him. And so that's a good territory gain, although the Hurricanes have taken it quickly. Rodney So'oialo can't get away from O'Neill, who has turned in an impressive work rate here tonight. Ripia looking for distance, finds Masanga, and he finds Muliaina. And a little bit of hesitation at the back. Well, Ellison looked at Jane, Jane looked at Ellison. Time to take the quick throw. And that's going to bounce for Sivivatu. No, Lauaki says, leave it to me.
Roll out.
Flops the ball back behind him to Ala de Malmonch.
Roll out.
Vigorous running style of his. Muliaina doesn't mind mixing it. And what great news to see he's pledged his immediate future to New Zealand rugby this week. Here's Sivivatu. Latimer in the support role.
Leave it.
Well, Moreland protesting hands there, maybe trying to milk a free kick or a penalty. Lauaki looking for the offload, finds Messam. Making inroads here, the Chiefs. De Malmonch again. Moreland, off it goes to Sivivatu. It's always time to pay attention when he's in looking for action. Might have lost it here though.
Turnover tackle. Leave the ball.
Weepu takes it, and that's been deflected by one of the Chiefs players, and Waldron tearing off after this one, but scooped up superbly by Muliaina. Stabs it down into the 22. Cory Jane waits, decides to bring it out. Again, ball allowed to bounce. Jane really the only man giving chase. Now it's Liam Messam with that kick. Ripia inside his 22, and eventually the kicking duel comes to an end as Willie Ripia puts it into touch about 8 metres short of halfway.
Well, the first 16 minutes or so of the second half has really all been the Chiefs. One promising opportunity by the Hurricanes a little while ago, but really the Chiefs have stepped up a gear. They are dominating this match just ever so slightly.
Down the back, and they've got it. Not convincingly, but they've got it. Kahui tries to get past Conrad Smith. No way through there. Muliaina off to Moreland. Hurricanes rushing up now. It's Lauaki becoming prominent with ball in hand. Clark slips it away on the short side to Kevin O'Neill. David Smith goes low with the tackle. And Andrew Hoare has stolen it, then he put it on the line, but the referee's free kicked him.
Here it is.
Well, he was playing the ball on the ground, taken quickly by the Chiefs. Callum Bruce, he knew the opportunity was on out wide, and he made the mistake.
Scrum lost forward.
Just got ahead of himself.
Well, the Hurricanes' defensive line reacted quickly there on the quick free kick. They knew that had the Chiefs got it to the left flank, they were in trouble. So the midfield advanced quickly. Just squeezed Callum Bruce for time.
Big James McGugan and 17 for Taumalolo.
Scrum great.
Well, there's that defensive line, but
in fact, I talked them up a little bit too much. It really was just a stone cold drop by Callum Bruce.
What about body language here, Foxy? Is the goal kicking affecting Willie Ripia a wee bit? It just looks like Donald might have taken a bit more control in that 10 role.
Yeah, he has. I agree with that, Smithy. Look, being the former goal kicker myself, it's a big part of your game, and when the boot's on song, it develops the other part of your game, and you grow in confidence. So there is no doubt it will be having a wee effect on him.
Crouch.
oh, you saw the We Love Mum sign up in the crowd. Mother's Day tomorrow.
Early.
Well, he warned them.
It's repeated. Early.
And the early engage this time escalates to a full arm penalty. Just as a little incentive for the crowd tonight. First 3,000 mums through the gate got a chocolate heart.
Just like the one we've got up here, TJ.
And you'll be taking that home, of course, Foxy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Unfortunately, I have to confess I needed some sustenance at half time. I've eaten mine, but I've sent my mum a card. Doesn't taste as good. But oh, good challenging from Craig Clark. It's untidy, though. And, well, they'll come back because it was actually a knock-on, but that was the effect of a good challenge from Craig Clark at the front of the line-out. And he has done a very good job for the Chiefs this season. Up against Rodney Soialo at the front there and forced the error.
He just got up in front of him. Just they picked it. They got their timing right. Got a hand in early.
Touch. Pause.
Well, that time it was the Hurricanes who went down early. And so that game of cat and mouse at scrum time continues. Donald hammers that high. But Tamati Ellison, well, such a wonderfully skilled player. No problem with that. Towering kick under the high ball. Now Sivivatu, as usual, takes his time, has a look. Not a great kick, that one. Ellison just dropped back into the 22, decides to have a little run now, and good tackle made on him by James McGugan. Chiefs arrive at the breakdown trying to effect a turnover, and they've got it through Liam Messam. Moreland scrambles it away, quick pass, oh nice work there from Kevin O'Neill to Jamal Munch, and now Donald. Off it goes to Lauaki in space, thundering into the 22. Kevin O'Neill again in the tidy-up role. He's done some really good work tonight, O'Neill. Now Moreland tries to pop a short pass to Kahui. Ball pops up though and could open up here for the Hurricanes, and David Smith realised there was no one home at the back, and the Chiefs will be hoping that goes into touch. It doesn't. Masanga, well, anything could happen here. Oh, fends off Rodney Soialo imperiously and breaks another one. Well, that's why they love to see him. One of the great attractions of this Chiefs team. And now Callum Bruce can peel off some more territory. And what a good kick that was. Masanga electrifying.
Yeah, absolutely. The safety of the touchline wasn't an option for him. And so here he is, the big fin on Soialo. That's a see you later.
How often do you see that happen?
Not very often. Not very often. Having said that, Rodney was on the stretch and really couldn't get a shoulder on him, so...
Yeah, he's done his calf a little bit too, I think, as a result of that. Just making his way very gingerly back to the line out with the trainer, but they've got other problems back towards halfway. Tialata struggling also. And one of the Chiefs players may well be Sivivatu here struggling.
I think it's Masanga got a bit of cramp now. The Hurricanes have lost this. So what can the Chiefs do? Muliaina runs hard. Well, good tackle made by Nonu. Squeezes it back between the legs, and it's there. McGugan, well, snatching at the pass was May. It was fair fight at him. If he'd held it, well, there were possibilities.
Yeah, it was fair fight at him. But the Chiefs have got the game at the right end of the field as Bryce Lawrence allows the medical people on the field to attend to a few players who've got cramp.
Yep, now we're going to see the influence of the 22-man players, 22-man side of the game, Foxy, and the depth in the bench. The Hurricanes are going to go to Bryn Evans and Jacob Allison first of all, by the look of it.
Well, it's been willing up front, Smithy. I mean, the breakdown area is being hugely contested. So it's little wonder that the coaching staff need to go to the bench.
Well, it's energy sapping stuff. This is a fantastic surface here in Hamilton. One of the best, well, not just in New Zealand. I doubt there'd be many better surfaces in the world than this one, but a bit of moisture on it. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of physical intensity, and it's energy sapping stuff. Dropped into the scrum from Weepu, and Nonu taking it at first receiver. Moreland got enough of him to put him on the ground. And Weepu back. Conrad Smith said, what are you giving it to me for? And Willie Reepu, a better option, kicks down to Masanga, though this could open up. Muliaina and Sivivatu to his left. Muliaina darts away. Great stuff from Muliaina, but you can see Conrad Smith getting across to make the tackle.
Roll out there too, here it is. That's fine, stay here.
Tanira Latimer goes in hard. On it goes Masanga. Swallowed up there in the tackle, but freed up nicely. Donald fires the pass, or trying to get Alan de Malmonch on the outside of David Smith. That is the very definition of optimism.
Well, it was the ultimate face ball. See, the idea was right, TJ. Just drifted ahead of de Malmonch.
Big changes for the Hurricanes in the pack. 1, 4 and 8 making their way for 19 with Serge Lilo. Also, Bryn Evans getting on there, and Jacob Allison. So Soialo goes, Thrush goes, Schwalger goes.
Jason Eaton takes it down.
Get out. Offside.
Just watching Soialo, Smithy, he's walking very gingerly.
Yeah, they'll be putting ice on the right calf, I would imagine, very quickly.
Right place, please.
I think it's Serge Lilo actually in the Chiefs. I think you might have Levave out there, Smithy.
Yeah, sorry, I've got Levave out there.
Levave was the Chiefs last year, and of course Lilo comes from the capital, so...
Hooker Elliott coming on, also the customary change at hooker for the Chiefs, so... The Malmont's been very active and very strong again.
Yes, he's a powerful figure, but this fellow, a very good player too. Another of the Hawke's Bay contingent in this Chiefs side. 16 minutes to play. Chiefs lead it by 8. And Bryn Evans. Off it goes, and Levave played here last season. But he's lost out here.
On his feet.
Oh, nice work done there at the breakdown by the Chiefs. And Elliott comes away with it. I think it was Messam who got the steal.
Leave it!
Now they've got it back, the Hurricanes. Levave, well, they'll know how strong he is on, well, with ball in hand. Weepu, off it goes. And a long pass goes out to Victor Vito from Willie Reepu, but he loses it in contact. Jolted clear in the tackle by Sione Lauaki. Well, I guess, Foxy, some people would have anticipated a high-scoring match, you know, 35-30, something like that, but almost one of those games where the consequences of losing will play on the minds more than the benefits of winning.
Yeah, you might have a point there, TJ. I mean, I certainly did expect a match that may have produced more points, but weather conditions have played a wee part. The ball has been a little bit greasy, but both sides have actually stepped it up on defence. Compared to where they've been in earlier parts of the season, defensively, they've been, I guess, better than they've been in most other games.
Levave is on now, in fact, for Latimer, so 19 for the Chiefs. Sorry, as Serge Lilo, I'll get that right, but the big change is that Piri Weepu has gone out the first 5 with Matthews on halfback.
Donald has it, and content to whack it away downfield, drifting towards the touchline. David Smith off fingertip and toes near the touchline stuff. That kick is skied in field. Allowed to bounce, but Muliaina has it, sells a dummy, gets past Smith. Taken by Waldrum. Coming from Moreland. And now Callum Bruce, well, they're quite happy to just try and pin them back inside their own 22. And that is a perler.
Yeah, that's the second time in about the last 5 or 6 minutes that Callum Bruce has done that. Just a little while ago, he went to the left-hand touch. And he realises how important territory is, and really this part of the field in the attacking 22 is where you can really exert pressure.
Bryn Evans makes his second line out take. And Matthewson scored a try here for the Hurricanes a couple of seasons ago. His kick drifts out into touch.
So Stephen Donald is making the calls out in the back line. The Chiefs have gone to a full line out. Masanga is wandering across to be parked up just in behind Stephen Donald.
It's the Chiefs looking to go to the top of the table with a round to play. That's been misthrown though, and the referee calls them back.
Timing was just astray here. I wonder whether Ben May on the back lift got there in time on Kevin O'Neill. Hickarellett certainly was not happy with the outcome of that.
Well, they have got a scrum feed because it was knocked on by the Hurricanes.
So Masanga now is behind Kahui. Muliaina is lining up there as well, so this will go wide, I think.
Mathewson rolls it along the ground to Donald, and it's been picked up by Albie Mathewson. So a mistake by the Chiefs. It was an awkward pass.
Leave him! Offside.
And
leave the ball.
Lauaki, well, he tried to
Offside.
stay passive, but it was too late. The damage was done. And so it's a penalty. Chance for the Hurricanes to get the ball down the other end of the field.
Well, the territory now is 55% in favour of the Chiefs, so relatively even at half-time. Possession's also in favour of the Chiefs, so the stats just turned a little bit in their favour. But a try in the next few minutes by the Hurricanes would make this game very interesting indeed.
Toby Lynn for Kevin O'Neill.
Yeah. Good hand too for Kevin O'Neill as he comes off. He's had a very good game. It's gone wide over the back to Albie Mathewson. Well, he wanted to get it away to Nonu, but Callum Bruce was all over him. Now Jacob Ellison in 17. Squirts out, but awkwardly. Jason Eaton got the ball, and also Liam Messam at the same time.
No, Messam got that dead right. He saw the ball at the base of the scrum, base of the ruck unclaimed. And so he advanced round.
Donald, again, the tactic is just to hammer it downfield and say to the Hurricanes, you want to win it, you got to win it from down there. Jane puts it high. Ellison leading the chase, and eventually Cory Jane's got it. Now what can they make of this possession on halfway? Levave. Mathewson, Weepu waiting at first five where he started so many games this season. Now Nonu moving on to it. Victor Vito putting on the speed back in field, but who's there to take it but Craig Clark? Well, the Chiefs locks have really put themselves about tonight. It's a turnover at a crucial time, and Sivivatu scoops it up brilliantly. Looks for support, throws a loose pass though. Could get it back here though.
Leave it black 19.
No, the Hurricanes have it. Again, some players taking a fair while to get back into position for the Canes though, and Ben May hangs on to Conrad Smith round the ankles. Nonu to Weepu. Sivivatu flying up at Jane, didn't get him, and then Bryn Evans trying to get rid of it to Tamati Ellison. Eventually he's got it. Coming slowly. Now Weepu moving it on. Nonu again. Trying to double around. And now gets it away to Conrad Smith. Now David Smith. Bouncing out of tackles as he does so often. Muliaina getting over the ball. Trying to win the turnover. There it is. And, well, coming away with it. Eventually, Toby Moreland has got it. Lauaki looked rather surprised to get it. Boy, it's like pass the parcel. Kick goes down to Weepu. Now Jane. Looking for somewhere to go. Gets out of a tackle too. Now Ellison breaking. Opportunity here. It's Bryn Evans. Andrew Hawes got it. Gets it away to Mathewson. Chiefs stretching back in defence. Nonu gets through the first, gets it away to Smith. Here's the chance, David Smith's lost it. Desperate defence from the Chiefs, desperate attack from the Hurricanes.
Gee, that was a long passage of play. Lots of tired bodies out there. But that was the Hurricanes' best opportunity of the match. Nonu again, as he does so often, the man who breaches. Started with Jane on the right-hand side of the field. To Ellison, to Bryn Evans there, who again just showed patience. And here we see Conrad Smith to David Smith, who had a wee look at Masanga and dropped the ball.
Yeah, well, there's players down, 2 or 3 players still down, getting some attention, a bit of cramp and some lungs, I'm sure, that are pretty well spent. But Nonu's been outstanding tonight, and the battle between Kahui and Conrad Smith. Well, Conrad Smith has appeared to be busier. There's no doubt about that, but it's just been intriguing, really intriguing from ground level. I can tell you the hits, the pounding, it's test match stuff, this. And Nisi in 22 for the Chiefs, and for Masanga.
Masanga, yeah. Well, his last action in the match was to line up David Smith, and as Foxy suggested, probably just enough to put him off.
Yeah, Smith was getting ready to chop infield off the left foot, I think, because that was his best option. And as he had a wee look to do that, took his eye off the ball, and down the pass went.
Well, it's still 16-8.
Touch, pause, engage.
Only points in the second half have been scored by the Chiefs. Stephen Donald has all 16 of them. But right now, they're on, or in hanging on mode. Hurricanes have to score twice. Certainly need to score once to get a bonus point, but they won't be thinking about that at the moment. Now the kick downfield, just skying it. Oh, David Smith dropped another one, and it's hacked ahead by Callum Bruce. Cory Jane has to double back. Taken by Bruce. Messham's there as well. Hurricanes managed to muster enough forces to hang on to the ball. Now Levave. Well, they keep getting driven back into their own territory, the Hurricanes.
No, Blake 6.
Off it goes to Weepu. Evans, who's made a couple of good runs. Toby Lynn trying to wrap him up.
Leave it 18.
It's still there for Mathewson, though. Now to Weepu. Jane up in the line. Little stab kick ahead. Sivivatu looks to have it covered. And good strength, too, because there were 2 of them on him.
Here it is, blue flag.
Jane's involved. There's plenty of gaps at the back.
Well, you can imagine that Callum Bruce, away to the left, wants to kick. In fact, Serge Lilo says, no, give it to me first and I'll make some metres for you. Coming for Moreland. Off to Lauaki. Makes another couple. Controlling it nicely here at the moment, the Chiefs. Just denying the Hurricanes the possession that they need to get back into this game. Donald, no back line outside him. Hooks a kick across to the left-hand side. Oh, here's a chance for Kahui. No, beaten by the dead ball line. Just about takes out the hoardings. And I tell you what, they're not made of rubber, those things either.
Andrew, scrum back.
It was a great call by Kahui. He saw it, and Stephen Donald hooked it back. But from the moment it pitched, it always looked like it was just going to be out of the reach.
He's right idea, though.
Kahui, yeah, perfect idea. But you can just see, just pitching forward, kept rolling, just out of Richard Kahui's reach.
Change of piece here for both sides. Zach Guilford in 22 for David Smith, who's had a shaky last 10 minutes. And Mike Delaney, a cool head in 21 for Callum Bruce, who started to dictate towards the end of his stay.
Smithy, I guess, just looking at the points table, imagine this is probably the result, as it stands at the moment, that the chasing teams, the likes of the Bulls, the Sharks, the Waratahs want, because if the top team gets beaten, and doesn't get a bonus point, it closes the gap. And what a weekend we are going to have. Well, there's plenty more great rugby to come this weekend, but what a weekend we're going to have next week.
No.
Well, that Bulls Sharks is the last game of the whole competition in terms of the round robin, Tony. That might be it.
And what contest they have had. What a rivalry that is.
Let's go, Black.
So the Chiefs, who only got back into the country Monday night,
Crouch.
looking to snap a run of 4 defeats at the hands of the Hurricanes and go, for the meantime, to the top of the table. Hurricanes need to score twice to win the game. The tactic is the kick. It's not a great one, though. It's read by Muliaina. Guildford tackles him.
Here it is, 9.
Coming, though, for the Chiefs. Moreland, off it goes, and again, Donald, they were rushing up quickly, puts the kick ahead, and, well, Craig Clark was the man giving chase, but again, it drives them back.
And notice that Tamati Ellison was in the ruck. So Craig Clark had seen it. I'm assuming the call came in. Donald certainly saw it early. We've seen this quite a bit in the second half from the Chiefs, just pin the corners.
You have to take your hat off to them, Foxy, against an attacking side like the Hurricanes, which have still busted the line quite often. They've done extremely well to keep them scoreless.
Nonu now close to his own goal line. Conrad Smith, that combination, they've started 20 times over the years for the Hurricanes. Chasing the game here. Mathewson off to Weepu, trying to get some width on it, and Nonu, well, he's the man who could break them open. Conrad Smith, though, the pass was forward. Had to stretch for it. Gets a consolation pat there from his All Black teammate. And the crowd, a big cheer goes up because they know the time is running out on the visitors.
Yeah, well, really, the Hurricanes to gain a point out of this game, because I think it's too hard for them to win from here. Very much on this man to breach and for support players to get off, and he's done it on several occasions tonight. But the Chiefs have scrambled well, and really the Hurricanes have, apart from one opportunity to David Smith a few minutes ago and a try they obviously scored early, they haven't looked that lightly, TJ.
Well, they've had to make so much play from deep inside their own half. The Hurricanes, as the Chiefs have controlled possession pretty well. Some very good kicking from Donald and also Callum Bruce. Hurricanes trying to steamroll them at scrum time.
Gone.
And they have got the scrum feed.
I never told you to put it in. Scrum grey.
So last throw of the dice here for the Hurricanes. And so when you're chasing the game, as you called before, TJ, can either be hero or villain here. Well, they've got a long way to go.
Well, how important could 1 point be? They're not going to win the game. Can they get a bonus point? Nonu. Mathewson now. Again, the defence rushes up, but busting the first tackle is Jacob Ellison. They've lost it, and Muliaina's got it. Puts the kick in for Sivivatu. Ellison going back, and over the touchline it goes. That'll be the end of the game. Chiefs win. And you can see how much it means to them.
Well, all the more meritorious because they had to do that long trip back from South Africa. And they had a quiet week physically. Haven't changed much, just got fresh, got the mind in gear. And particularly in the second half tonight, they were the dominant side. And they won this all-important top-of-the-table clash.
Just one try each. David Smith scored in the first half for the Hurricanes, but Stephen Donald, who pegged them back with 3 penalty goals, a solo effort early in the second half, was the turning point of this match. So the Chiefs for the moment go to the top of the table, but the Bulls now sense the opportunity that they could be #1 by the end of the weekend if they can get a bonus point win over the Cheetahs.